Antoine Dupont is widely regarded as the best scrum half of all time. Some might even say the best player. But what if he's not? What if a majority of us have actually been wrong all this time? Because I feel there might actually be another player out there that can challenge this title. Um, we have to take in consideration he's only played 27 minutes in the Southern Hemisphere. So I want to break this down. Please like, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And let's get into it. Now, Antoine Dupont, he's that talismanic player for France. He is essentially what Suali'i is for Australia or France. He's Mr. Important. He's there when he's needed. I mean, we've seen him play in the sevens, we've seen him play in the 15s. The guy is absolutely phenomenal. He wouldn't be here without putting in the time, the effort, the work, and he's put in the performances as well. We've seen how he's played, through the years, and he is absolutely brilliant. But should that earn him the title as the best in the world? I don't know. The big thing around Antoine Dupont is the 27 minutes. I believe it was in his debut, he ended up playing 27 minutes before being taken off. And this has always been a big question mark over his career. How can you be classified as the best scrum half in the world, or even the best player in the world, if you've barely played in the Southern Hemisphere, where you have the two best teams in world rugby that are New Zealand and South Africa? I don't know. There are different factors that has kept him out, and I don't want to be making excuses for France and Antoine Dupont, but obviously he has been through injury, and there is just general scheduling, which the French are widely known to not like to play their best. We've seen in the test of New Zealand just earlier on that none of their elite players have played in the tour. Yes, they developed a lot of young talent, which was absolutely amazing to see, but majority of their elite players are gone. Albeit Antoine Dupont is not there. Well, I doubt it would be there anyway, but he is injured, and we might see him later on in the year, maybe even going into next year. But the name that I'm talking about that can potentially rival Antoine Dupont is Jamison Gibson-Park. Now, he's not necessarily the flashiest name in the world. He's not the guy that makes all the headlines. He's not the guy that's, getting all the accolades. He's very much that guy who goes under the radar. He's very much a guy that, his performances and his effort shows his talent and his quality, whether it's playing for Leinster and being an absolute monster playing for Leinster, whether it's playing for Ireland. Yes, he was a little bit of a late bloomer, and he's still putting in some of the most amazing performances about. But one of the key factors between this is Jamison Gibson-Park is battle tested with Southern Hemisphere teams, right? The one thing that Antoine Dupont isn't. Jamison Gibson-Park has won multiple trophies, left, right, and center, right? He's had the luxury of playing up against South Africa, and, he's put in good performances throughout. So he's done pretty much every single thing that Antoine Dupont has, plus played in the Southern Hemisphere as well. So, where is the difference? Where does it lie? What makes Antoine Dupont the best in the world and Jamison Gibson-Park not? Right? Does it come down to performances? Does it come down to in-game in-game qualities, which both of them have? Yes, they are stylistically different. I mean, we can see from Antoine Dupont, there is very, very little that is able to phase him, whether he's surrounded by 5, 10, 15, an army of players. He's always that player who's always able to keep that cool. He's always level-headed, and he's able to get that ball going really well, especially when he does have his partnership of Roman and Tamak. But we look at Jamison Gibson-Park, who is just as deadly. His ability to control tempo, to dictate pace, is outstanding. If not, I would say probably better than what Antoine Dupont is. His game IQ is through the roof. And I truly, truly do feel that there is a very good conversation that needs to be had here as to whether Antoine Dupont falls short when it comes down to Jamison Gibson-Park per game statistically. Now, um, Gibson-Park, like I say, he's very much under the radar. He's very much a player that doesn't get the spotlight that Antoine Dupont does, but he's just as effective. And we look at his performances for the Lions. I would love to see him be able to go, a full 80 minutes. But whenever he does play, he is so effective. The partnership that he has, molded with Finn Russell has been nothing short of fantastic, bloody spectacular. But what does he need to do to get that title as the best scrum half in world rugby? Because at this point in time, I think Antoine Dupont is getting this just out of notoriety, out of, the fact that there's all that hype around him. So I want to leave this question to you guys. What does Gibson-Park genuinely need to do to be classified as the best scrum half in world rugby over the likes of Antoine Dupont, who catches the media? Right? What does he need to do? Does he need to be putting in another performance up against South Africa? Does he need to be putting in another performance up against New Zealand or maybe even Australia, where Antoine Dupont very rarely goes down to the Southern Hemisphere? So it's difficult because Antoine Dupont plays brilliantly when it comes down to the Northern Hemisphere, right? And we look in the 2023 World Cup. What did he actually do? This is questions that I hope to hear in the comment section below. I want to hear your guys' answers because personally, I'm a very, very big fan of Jamison Gibson-Park. I genuinely do feel that he is on par with Antoine Dupont. If not, I would say certain performances this year have potentially proven him to be slightly better. But I'm saying this at risk of getting a lot of backlash from a lot of the French. I love French rugby. I love Antoine Dupont. Don't take it the wrong way. But I just feel that this is a conversation that needs to be had. It needs to be opened up because with Dupont being injured, for such a big part of this year, and he's going to be injured for a big part of this year, a big part of France's games. What needs to be done? Because Gibson-Park is regularly improving. He's regularly showing that he's got the quality, he's got the talent, he's putting in the performances. Yes, he's got a couple of years on Antoine Dupont. But what does that mean for now? Gibson-Park is showing that right now, in my opinion, what's fit and available, he is the best active scrum half in world rugby. Yes, there are shouts from South Africa and there are shouts from New Zealand. But right now, in my opinion, Gibson-Park is the best active playing scrum half in world rugby. But I want to know what your thoughts are. So please like, subscribe. It always does help the channel grow. And I hope to have a chat with you guys in the comments. So on that note, have a lovely day and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.